Look at you. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. And Jamaicans like to say happy Saturday. No turn. Just Saturday. So thank you everybody who will be joining us for another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. I say this every week, but I'm going to say it again. The internet never fails. There is always so much content for us, and we're going to get right into this show. But again, if you're listening to us on the radio platform, which is Radio Region or iHeartRadio, please make sure you're following us on all of our social medias, Not Your Typical Girl Talk, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And as usual, we're going to introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Hey, everybody. This is Garcia. I am so excited to be here again with you another time for an episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We talk about all the foolishness on the internet, all the hot topics, and as usual, we always have a good time here. So thank you so much for joining us for this Black perspective, which is what you need. Telly, how are you?
Girl, I'm doing fabulous. And you are so right. The Black perspective is the only perspective. Yeah, we said it. What other perspective is there? We can wait. Actually, we can't because we're going to get to these topics. Hey, everyone. This is Telly. I'm so happy to be here with my fam, the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. As she was saying, y'all, the internet never fails. And honestly, I question humanity more and more each minute of every single day. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's the Panasonic. I don't know what the heck's going on, but you know what? I'm happy to be here with my crew. We're going to discuss some things and get your pen, paper, marker, whatever you need, tablet, whatever you type on, get it out. And get your tea as well, because listen, you don't want to miss this. You're going to want to take some notes. Sheba, tell me who you are.
Girl. So I am Sheba. They call me Sheba. I'm the final female member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. And yes, honestly, like I question how people are being raised these days with some of the things that I have seen and have witnessed on the internet. But before we go into that, we are going to have him introduce myself, my partner in crime, and our male correspondent. Who you is this week?
I'm just Robert.
Oh, okay. All right.
How's it going, everybody? Happy
You couldn't see me. I was doing a little dance, and he was just looking at me funny because that is our life. He's real quiet today. I don't know. Usually he's got more to say, but I guess he's so excited to jump into some of these ridiculous topics.
Girl.
I'm going to go right into it.
Let's.
Dating is hard, right? We know that dating is hard. Everybody has their list of criteria that they're looking for a man, whether it's physical requirements, financial, emotional, spiritual, and so forth. Browsing the internet this week, and I came across something that to me was so shocking. I really just clutched my pearls and was like, of all the things I remember having on my dating list, I never saw this as a don't, right? Again, we've got our non-negotiables, our wants, our needs, and our don'ts. I think a lot of women have their don'ts. So a young lady put something on the internet that has been going viral, and Telly, if you got your phone, if you can just pull it up and turn it around to the people and just show the people what this is. So here's this young lady, and you've seen it. Telly's gonna read it to you because I think I was in such shock I can't even read this.
Okay, so Sierra tweeted on September 21st,
and this is not Sierra the singer. This is
not Sierra.
Not thank you. So we're clear.
On the 7th of this month in 2021, she tweeted, "A single man over 30 is a big red flag, especially with no kids." Let's read that again. A single man over 30 is a big red flag, especially with no kids. That's what she wrote on September 7th, 2021.
You want to hear something funny on a different take on that? She might be right. It's a red flag for women. Like, he ain't messing with y'all. And he's not gay. What's that saying?
Okay.
Thank you, Evangela. Yes.
I will.
I don't think that's the way she meant it.
So
you
first
know
of all,
what I'm saying?
yes,
But
yes. What
there
Rob
might
said,
be.
first of all, right? A woman over 30 single with no kids. I've heard that come from people before. But this young lady, and you know, she is a Black woman, said, yo, men that are over 30 and single with no kids are a big red flag. And I want to bring up the fact that you said 2021.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say 2021 is because we are living in different times. Now, when our parents were all within the same group, we're all in either late 30s, like early 40s here.
Mm-hmm.
And when our parents were 21, most of them already were either married, had children, you know, because that was the time in which we were dealing with, right? In 2021, a lot of us are going to university. We are going to university, then teachers college, or we're going to university, then doing our doctor's thing, then we're doing our apprenticeship, then we're doing whatever. By the time we're done school, are we not around 30 years old?
Pretty much.
Okay, so how many children, to be honest, these days, apparently, if you're doing things right, you shouldn't have tons of trillions of children at the age of 30, depending on where you are in your life and what you're doing. But the idea that, and I'm a believer in this because my life, I've always designed it in a way that is very untraditional. So I found that very offensive. And I'm not even a man. And I was offended because I'm like, that's not fair.
No.
You're looking at men who have decided to design their life in a specific way that is best for them, and you're saying that they aren't worthy of relationships, they're not worthy of goodness, simply because they decided to not have multiple upon multiple children before he's 30 years old?
If you guys notice, my face hasn't changed. I just kept tilting my neck back and forth because I have to tell you, I feel for Black men.
Girl.
So if you got multiple kids, you're a problem. If you have no kids, you're a problem. I even read yesterday, and I was so offended, that a married women these days are basically single mothers in relationships. And there were all of these notes about how, yeah, even when you're married, your man isn't doing anything. So I was like, some of y'all just hate men, it doesn't matter. And I've been a single mom. I'm telling you, it is not the same thing. Having now raising a child with a man in the house and a father, being single, a single mother is not the same as being in a marriage. Yes, you might do more. You're going to do more. You're a mommy. Simple. So there are all of these. So again, you having multiple baby mamas is bad. Having no kids and single is bad. Being married but being not present apparently in a relationship is bad. What can Black men do right? Because I'm starting to question if I was a Black man, what I would do in that situation. Because to me, a 30-year-old and over Black man with no kids is a catch.
Thank you.
Let's be real.
Thank you.
Reel him in. Like, I've never looked, and I have met many men who were in that category. 30s, late 30s. My brother is 41. My stepbrother is 41. No kids. He's going for his master's soon. He's been, a teacher. He's got 2 post-secondary degrees. He'll have 3 soon. Like, I don't understand how a man If I was a woman without children, if I hadn't had my child at 21, that would have been on my list. A man without kids, because I didn't have any. I never wanted to be baby mama number anything, right? I didn't want to be somebody's baby mama. I ended up being someone's baby mama, but if I was going to be someone's baby mama, it was number one. It wasn't 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever the number may be. So for me, if you're a single woman who desires a life partnership and you meet a man in his 30s and he's got no kids, and I'm assuming, because the funny thing is, I love my kids. They are a blessing to us. But kids are little life suckers.
They're expensive.
They suck
Thank you.
the life out of you. They suck your money.
Yes.
They suck your time.
Sometimes
They're little
mental
sucking
too.
incubuses. Love them, blessings. But that's the reality. So a man who's single over 30 has taken his time and used it to me effectively and probably has built a life and a career and so forth. We're not talking about, F-boys in the streets. We're talking about people who've actually invested that time into them to make sure when the woman comes along and he does have children, he's ready. But y'all, so you don't want waste youth, but you don't want good men. I'm done.
To me, that's just kind of more of a that's the adjustment. Like, I'm looking at it with a bit different spin. Like 30, 40 years ago, what was the percentage of single black men over 30 with no children unattached? I'm willing to bet it was pretty low.
It was low.
Nowadays, it's not, again, who controls relationships? Men do. So if the man is single with no kids, it's because he's very seriously taking that whole lane. I almost fell into that category.
Exactly.
Well, you were in that category. You didn't have your full biological son until you went 33.
That's what I'm saying. And
He
that's
wants
not
to be there.
of a shortage of women in my life. Believe me. You know what I'm saying? It was because at that stage in my life, I was taking very seriously not wanting to be a father. And that's how real it done got out here that, again, we were talking last week, men are the worst. Like, we have zero accountability when it comes to pregnancy. Like, we're the worst, but we do have the responsibility of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's almost like men take the being of a child more seriously than women do these days. Like, women just having kids ain't giving no, I got pregnant, and that is the determining factor of whether she's going to be a mom or not. Men are like, oh my God, and thinking about all of the things that come with fatherhood. But women just out here having kids willy-nilly, in my opinion.
Rob, you had a good point.
Snap, like he just did a whole poetry slam poetry.
He had a good point.
Can I say something? And I'm about to offend a lot of black women right now, and I'm sorry. But we know that a lot of black women are out here purposely having children for one reason and one reason only.
Oh, yeah.
And that reason is to collect.
You want the government check.
They're trying to either turn a man to all of a sudden want them, or they are looking for the government's check. Because in some places, right here in Canada, you're collecting $1,200 per child.
Probably more by
month.
now.
A month.
Okay.
So if you have 6,
Oh,
think about it.
Okay. And I think it's
You
really
know math.
It's just really disgusting that
yeah, that's
as a
nasty.
woman, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting because everyone has. I know, like you were saying, you design your life a certain way. But even your brother,
you should live with intention.
Thank you. You're supposed to live with intention. You only have one life, and you're trying your absolute best to not screw it up. So I think it's really sad that a black woman is saying that a man who is in his 30s with no kids is a red flag. How is he a red flag? Okay, so what about all my white brethren men out there who have no kids? Are they also a white flag or a red flag?
There's a lot.
What about my Indian brothers? What about my Asian? So they're a red flag too?
There are a lot of men in other races and nationalities
I'm confused.
that see it as an award
yeah.
or a level up. when you're 30 years old and you still have your life ahead of you, you know, whether you are in school, whether you play professional sports, whether you are traveling the world, a lot of men really don't want kids before they have time and money for them.
Because
so why are we pushing Black men to do something that does not serve them?
Watch out in Texas, guys. Now they got more reason to just be.
It's just interesting that, you know, a man, like what I was saying, a man will take his life seriously because they know that fatherhood is no joke. And then a woman, you're a woman. Come on, yo.
You're supposed to know better.
They're so concerned.
Kids, like it's a Cabbage Patch Factory. Like, what is this? A Dolly Baby thing? What is this, a Barbie doll? You're popping it out like it's Toys R Us. Come on, man. And then you want the man to just give up his life and surrender to you? Who are you?
Children are little succulences.
Think about the lexicon even for a minute. It was like we started with baby mamas, and I can get that because that's kind of a derogatory comment on a dude. Like, oh, that's just, you just had a child with this woman, y'all didn't really have a significant relationship. Like that kind of reflects on you. But now we in 2020, we out here, we got baby daddy, like plural. Okay. These women be having kids by 3 and 4 different dudes and feel like that still reflects poorly on the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't.
That's crazy.
Because we've been taught, I don't know when, but we have been taught that it's the man to be blamed.
It's the man to blame.
We've been taught that it's for some reason in our subconsciouses to say it's the guy's fault.
For everything.
For everything. Okay.
For everything. There is no responsibility and accountability. And I don't know who's teaching these young girls, but I remember growing up, and I'm not that old, that accountability for your actions was important. You don't get your butt beaten in your yard if you didn't take accountability. Maybe we need to go back to thinking kids. Like, I'm sorry, like you took accountability
in the switch.
Maybe
because you don't have to take accountability when your ass is getting beat.
Because when you're growing up and your parents tell you, look, you made your bed. Now it's time to go lie in it. It's your bed. You lie in it.
Yo, it's like, to the Power fans out there, I'm going to just paraphrase real quick. Like, because there was a scene that I really dug where, you know, the female character, the Queen Pen, and her rival were having a discussion. And he was just talking about the safety of her son. And she was like, well, you got kids too. And he was like, but Brock, I ain't birth him, you know, I ain't carry him in my stomach for 9 months. Like, that's my son, I love him, but I'm not bonded to him the way that you are to yours. That's reality.
Yep.
That doesn't mean men don't love their children.
Right.
But we don't carry them in our stomach for 9 months. We don't go through the pain of birthing them into the world. We don't go through none of that.
Exactly.
So why is it that men have had to start taking it more serious, the responsibility of that child being in the world, than women are? Like I said, why are women having kids willy-nilly, indiscriminately, just chalk it up to, he's a baby daddy, bad man?
Like Rob says, how do you got 3 different baby daddies, but the baby daddies is the terrible one? You didn't protect your kids. Listen, I say it again, and I will say, I was purposeful about the fact that I only wanted one child.
That's it.
And again, blessing to me, I love her. One biological child that is blessing to me, I love her. I didn't even know if I wanted her. But when I got pregnant with her, whatever was growing in my stomach, I said, I want this baby.
Yeah.
And I understood that making that choice at 21 years old, and her dad at the time was 24, that part of it might be I have to eventually raise her alone. I understood that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually understood that making decision. He was there for the pregnancy. He was there for the doctor's appointment. He was there for that. But I said, as young as we are, there might be a chance that I'm raising this child alone. And I made a conscious decision that even with that, I was going to do it. But I never had any more.
That's it.
Because I understood that I was in a position that if I had to do it alone, I did not want that responsibility. And I also didn't want to be a woman with multiple baby daddies. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. That's not what I wanted for my life. And I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm dropping kids off to different homes.
Exactly.
That is not a thing. So my one child was raised with love and all of those different things, but that's all I had to give.
Right.
I couldn't give any more.
Right.
And I didn't expect a man to come into my life and all of a sudden say, well, you got this one kid, I'm gonna pop and give you some more. And I had expectations of myself.
Exactly.
So how can women not have expectations of themselves, but they have a higher expectation on the men that they're sleeping with?
Check this out on for signs. I was just sitting here fucking up. Like, we Disney fans, we all know Quasimodo, right?
Mm-hmm.
The character Quasimodo. Quasimodo should not be having kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because just naturally, we would not want to pass Quasi's genes on to the next generation.
Hell no.
But in 2021, if Quasi had like a successful online business and he was making like $1 million and a half a year, Quasi would have a baby. Trust me,
I'm done with
because not like I want to, Quasi is like I want to pass on his. No, just to collect, as you ladies have already paraphrased. Like, Quasi would be a baby daddy these days if he had a good job.
Here's the thing. Again, how are you having babies to secure a child? I'm telling you, again, love the children, but they are with you for life.
That's it.
Like forever.
I think there's a problem here too. You know what's happened with society? We have been preaching that discipline. We have been teaching that discipline and living with intention is lame.
Yeah.
That's
very
we
true,
are not
actually.
looking
That's true.
people that have decided to say, I'm going to control myself and be responsible. I'm going to use contraceptives. I'm going to ask the right questions when I start dating someone. I'm going to live my life this way. I know that I am a Leo, therefore I am not good for raising children because I'm just too one way. So I'm not going to really have any. We look at these discipline pieces and we look at the person and say, oh, they're lame. Like, you should just live your life and just flow. And I'm like, oh, so have a bunch of children and then grow them up, not really wanting them, causing them to have what? Neglect and abandonment issues? Because that's what they're doing.
Yep, that's it.
They're raising children that aren't wanted.
Yo, that's a great, and the pandemic really proved, like you said, that restraint and discipline and self-control and doing what's best for the majority is considered lame. Look at Florida. They were out partying on the
living their best life.
In a full-blown pandemic going on. And to certain people, they were again looking at you corny, you're not going
you're
to the
staying
club.
home?
You're scared? What? And I'm again not even getting into the politics of it. You can believe what you want to believe about it, but the fact of the matter is, people was dying. You can't dispute or disregard that part. And people just gave no F's. You know what I mean? It was but then was the same people, how many stories did they have of people on their deathbed, oh,
wish I had known. I wish I would have known this. I wish I wouldn't have gone
they should have
to
just been recording them freaking testimonials or something like that and just airing them on CNN 24/7. Because that's the world we live in. Until something slaps you directly in your face, you don't believe it.
Because here's the thing. Here's my thing. Because we got another story that's so outrageous. I almost want to wrap this one up. But here's the thing. I remember meeting a guy, and he had 7 kids with 7 different women. To the left. I was like,
no.
Hell no.
No. We're not doing that.
No.
You are not going to be number 8.
No.
Hell no.
No. So what is the alternative? Hold on, let me just stop, because I had this conversation with our daughter just even the other day about childhood and staying a child. And I was thinking about it. You have 18 years of childhood. You turn 18, you're an adult. So from 18 to 30, let's do the math, that's 12 years. Let's assume 4 to 6 years of schooling, right? You're 24. So you're telling me that you needed to live a whole life between 24 and 30, and in there you should be having kids and doing all of this. There's a whole world to see. There's traveling, there's all these different things, businesses to start, but the focus of a man after he's gotten a degree is to go take care of a woman and a baby or a baby. That should be his primary focus. And the fact that he isn't, that makes him a red flag. No, girl, right. You are a whole red flag. You are stop, alert, do not go any further, caution tape if that's your mindset. So as a woman, if that is your mindset, if a man with no babies, again, bring him.
He's a gift.
If a man with no babies is a red flag,
you need to DM to the show, because
Shy's way my way. It's fine by me. It's fine by me.
Listen, I'm just going to quickly reset the room before we continue. But thank you all so much for joining us on Not Your Typical Girl Talk. This recording is for Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio. We talk about all the foolishness on the internet.
Foolishness on the internet.
It's all a Black perspective. So thank you so much for joining us. Follow us on all of our Not Your Typical Girl Talk handles. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Follow us on all of those. And let's get back to the show.
Yes.
That word foolishness. Foolishness. Listen,
foolishness.
If there's foolishness on the internet these days, you know somehow Kevin Samuels is involved in the foolishness.
Girl.
And not Kevin Samuels himself, but the women who call into Kevin Samuels. So again, minding our own business, and I see something and I had to send it to the ladies. Karcia found the full video, which I watched this morning, and I've actually watched it twice.
Yeah.
Because I was so intrigued by what I was watching.
Had to.
Of this woman making a ass out of herself for hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands on live, and then potentially millions on his YouTube channel.
You mean
so
DJ
this
Quick.
woman is the opposite of this extreme. She is like forever, like
forever.
Yes, DJ Quick. So
DJ Quick.
Tell me to play the clip and tell me what I want you to do is actually play the clip to the camera so people can actually see this woman's face and Kevin's face as she talks this. I
think she was pranking him, man. I don't think so.
No, that's real life. Did you not hear the babies in the background?
Oh yes.
He wasn't serious.
No, you need to see the whole clip. The babies were in the background. Okay. We are ready.
The way she came out with it, like, the way she...
3 baby daddies today.
Oops.
We're gonna start from the beginning, everybody, because you just gotta hear this part. I had clipped it a little bit,
Yes.
So I forgot.
I'm just gonna start it over from the beginning here.
Because you gotta hear it all, everybody.
How many children do you have? 3 baby daddies today, all gangbang.
So what do you want as an outcome?
I want somebody that's loyal. It's really hard to find loyalty nowadays. You really can't find it at the next corner or none of that. Like these men now.
Hold on. Loyal to what end? Like a husband? What are you talking about?
I want a husband. I want to get married, have kids.
Why,
I want to live in a
house.
house.
Hold on. You're 39 with 3 children, right?
Yes.
Okay. You already have kids.
Yes.
How old is your youngest?
3 years old.
Well, you want more children.
Of course I do. I really want 6. Is something wrong with that?
What do you do for a living?
I get EDD. Is that,
I don't know what that is.
Unemployment.
So you're an unemployed mother with 3 baby daddies. You talking about you can't find a man?
Yes. It's I'm pretty sure God, I want somebody that's gonna help me. Like, you don't think that I could get that?
It's called Jesus.
Sorry, but You don't think that I can get somebody to help me? And you don't think a man is going to let
It's
me?
called Jesus.
Huh?
Jesus.
So basically, you telling me to call on Jesus
And a therapist.
and I thought you was, well, can me and you be together then?
Sure. After you call on Jesus and the therapist to get a makeover.
Yeah, he
Okay, we're done.
yeah, he like booked me on the 33rd.
Yes.
Okay, I just wonder, and Rob thinks she was trolling him, and that's possible, but if you need that much attention, that's a problem, because this man has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and tens of thousands of people. I've been in his lives. You're looking at 10, 20, sometimes 30,000 people watching his lives. There should be no way that that's how you want to get Insta famous or social media famous. But I do want to repeat what she said. There's a couple of things I want to start with. She is 39 with 3 kids.
She's 39.
3 baby daddies. 3 baby daddies, and they all gangbang. Let's just be clear. So 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, all gangbang. Her youngest is 3rd. She's saying she wants loyalty because it's very hard to find loyalty these days. She potentially wants a man who will give her more kids because she wants 6. She's currently on unemployment, EDD, whatever that is. And she wants a man to take care of her. I'm going to say this like I said on the planning call. Listen, isn't loyalty the benchmark of a gangbanger?
Yeah.
Don't you have to even show loyalty to get in a gang?
That was my
Yeah.
question.
Like,
If a gangbanger
Gangbangers are the most annual.
are like, I'm out here, I'm out.
3 of them.
I'm out of this.
Uno, dos, tres.
I'm gone.
Un, dos, trois.
What, like, if, like, I was thinking the same thing. Like, isn't joining a gang, like, loyalty, wanting the fame, drivers of you wanting to do that? Like,
Yes. And these gangbanger guys, they latch on like koalas on a tree. I know women that they had to work, they had to do everything to get rid of the gangbanger boyfriends.
So
It's very hard to get.
another dude is supposed to want to walk into what I would probably say is about an 83% chance of a shootout occurring in her front yard just off of her baby daddies coming to see their kid.
3 of them.
3 of them.
3 of them.
I hope they're in the same gang at least, so that might like smooth that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But she wants loyalty.
Right.
You know what? If she
And
wants
loyalty is very hard
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm like, you can't, that she's trolling,
if
man.
she wants loyalty, then maybe she should invest in getting a dog. Dogs are loyal, and she can get one of those.
And you know what? I want to say this too, because as I always say, everything is reflective. The world is a reflective place. I wish we got to know the ages of her other kids, because maybe this woman is not loyal to herself, which is why she's having a problem finding loyalty towards her. How many men was she, these kids, like were these one-night stands? Were these real relationships? Has she ever been in a devoted relationship?
Let's not forget the men in between.
The men in between. Like, what is she doing to garner the energy of loyalty?
I want to know what gang it was.
That's why I'm like,
You know what was
fascinated by the game.
I didn't, the part of the clip I didn't put in because she was walking around and going through the house was too much. You know, Kevin's question of that week is, what can you give a man that you haven't given any other man? Right? That was the whole premise of the show. And for her, she said something, and she's like, basically, I need to watch my mouth. Like, I need to basically, I talk too much. I need to keep my mouth shut. So, number one, so you're back talking multiple baby mama, baby father,
Who can't
having
discipline your children because they're making noise throughout the house. And
all the background. And you want Tim, the attorney, who's over 30 with probably no kids.
Oh, no, that's a red flag. Red flag.
To come in and help you take care of your 3 kids with 3 different daddies, and you say you want loyalty, when again, I think we all agree the benchmark of being a gang is showing loyalty. But you can keep 3 gangbangers who, again, loyalty is probably top 3 traits that they have. You couldn't do that.
Okay.
Right. And you want someone to help you. You deserve loyalty, and you want someone to help you raise now 6 children.
Lord Jesus.
And you are going to take your unemployed self and have 3 more kids at the age of 40 while you're raising a 3-year-old and maybe 2 other kids that are maybe, let's say, 2 years in between at like, do you think that this is Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman? Like, what is happening here? Like, I'm, again, this toxic entitlement.
That's exactly
where
it.
you think that you can do absolutely nothing, put no work in. Kevin Samuels said she showed up looking like DJ Quick.
She did.
Like, and he had a good old time. I don't think I've ever seen him laugh so hard.
He was laughing and dancing. It was a dance for me.
He's dangerous.
That took me out.
Dangerous. Yo, like, whether she means to be or not, you have 3 gangbanging baby daddies, baby girl.
She is a red alert. That is a red alert.
Go to your house unarmed. Facts.
Now imagine, right? She picks up this nice gentleman, nice man who is the 30-year-old and over with no kids. He's worked very hard to make this life. And then, they're in the house, and then 3 of the baby daddies show up.
At the door.
Yeah.
Impressive. Oh my God, they are impressive. Oh my God.
Come on.
That's not.
You can't date hyenas for 10 years and then start dating lamb and expect it to be like yo. Because all them hyenas is still checking for you, you know what I mean? They come through and see that lamb, like, ooh, what are you talking about? Like, that's just, that's dangerous. It's certain, like, again, where I grow up, it's just certain girls you just don't mess with. And like, if she got like 9 brothers and 7 of them felons, like, nah, that's a pass. Like, cause if you upset her, chances are you got to deal with them brothers, at least 1 or 2 of them. You know what I mean? And that's just, do you really want that? Like, certain problems you can see, like, way down the road, and 3 gang banging baby daddy sounds dangerous. Like,
1 gang banging baby daddy sounds dangerous.
Right.
She wanted the 2 and 3. This is why I am confused. Why she would think that another man should pick up the responsibility that the other 3 left behind and take care of her. I'm the part that I don't get it.
Okay.
You didn't protect your womb.
That for real. Listen.
She has no respect for it.
She's loyal to herself.
In the natural kingdom, back to the significance of children, we are very civilized. We're very cultured as humans. In many species in the natural kingdom, when a male gets with a female who has pre-existing children, he kills them. He don't want them.
This is real, people. You need to look it up in the animal kingdom.
Really, Discovery Channel got how many hours of footage of this phenomenon. And it's in the natural world, it kind of makes sense. He's not worried about Earl's legacy, he's worried about Rob.
That's it.
Men look at children as legacy. Women look at children as joy. It's different. It's just different. So when the lion takes over for the other females, he takes over the pride, all the little cubs, he kills them.
Yep.
Because we're going to have more cubs, and they're going to be mine, and then I'm much more inclined to protect those.
Than those ones you had over there.
With my life, then I'm much more inclined to protect my biological child with my life than someone else.
Absolutely.
I want people to take that in for a second. Like, that's let's really break it down. And women really need to really think
It's
about this.
significant, man.
There is an expectation of loyalty from a man coming in, and you have several children or even one child by a different man. You have a certain expectation that a man isn't necessarily wired for.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong with dating single moms. I was a single mom. I get it. I understand.
Right.
My dating life was great, but I didn't have a level of expectation that this man is magically going to come in and take care of my daughter in a way as if it was his own. I understand that a lot of people go, but if he loves you, loving me and loving my child are two different things.
That's it.
Like, why can't
I get the whole package deal.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Sounds great on paper. Again, chanting, all of this stuff. It sounds wonderful in theory.
Mhm.
A lot of these things sound great in theory. But in reality, I think we really need to look at the life choices we make. I made a choice to have a baby at 21. He didn't.
And let's keep it funky, man. Like, women ain't 100% on board with a man's pre-existing children. No, let's keep it funky. There's plenty of situations where that's going to the left. But
Yeah.
she don't even want to deal with kids. Like, how many women, with kids be like, I'm looking for a guy with no kids? Why? Because I don't want to deal with his baby mama. Oh, but he should want to deal with your baby. Go figure. Go figure. Cancel delusion.
Thank you. I really do feel that if this woman that called in to Kevin Samuels, I feel that if she came in with the right energy, it could have looked a lot different. I do think that the first thing she should have asked him is, what can I do starting today to make me more desirable to the men that are loyal and ready to partner with a woman that's ready to be in a real marriage and relationship? I feel that if she went in that way, she would have gotten some solutions, even though he did give her some, because again, therapy will get you far. Therapy will get you far.
Therapy and Jesus.
And spirituality as well. Like he said, Jesus meaning spirituality. Like, what is your spiritual life? What's the relationship you have with yourself? Because it's obvious she doesn't have a relationship with herself.
Karcia, you're talking like an adult, and an adult woman who understands the word accountability. Like, this is what we like. I don't know who's raising these young women now, but there is to do the inner work, to look at yourself and say, here's the thing I used to say to people. And I was like, listen, people be like, Sheba, you're, really great and so forth. And why are you single and so forth? I said, you know what? Until I figure out why I am the common denominator in all of my failed relationships, I'm probably not ready for another. Like, I was real with myself. Because I think, again, if I've had 3 failed relationships, I am the common denominator in all 3 failed relationships. So why do I, as a woman, she should be looking at something and say, why do I have 3 failed relationships with 3 gangbangers that I gave babies?
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
Right.
What is it that I need to do to be better so that I don't end up with a 4th baby daddy, because Jesus collecting baby daddies?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? How do I need to be better? But do you understand self-reflection, how hard that is?
Hey.
To look at yourself and say, I've got some things and some issues that I have to fix.
Right.
I have some real things that are going to create havoc in my life and my children, because I'm going to pass on these things to these children that I'm raising without daddies. And then I now have an expectation that new stepdaddy is going to come and put us all under his wing. And what?
Unless her energy changes, she's going to keep attracting that type of guy. She's attracting them. She's doing something to attract that type of individual.
She got gangbanger energy, yo.
She's got full gangbanger energy.
Baseball cap down to her eyebrows on the video, yo. She looked like she could just throw her hoodie up and put on a little scarf and go rob a bank.
Gang,
Like,
gang.
That's her
she's
gimmick.
ready. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Like
she
I
wants it
can
deep
relate.
down. She wants
I can
another
identify that.
hood rat. I don't know what she's looking for.
Girl.
She's looking
You
for
know
a hood
what
rat.
was missing?
She'll drive the car for sure.
You know what was missing in that entire clip? Feminine energy.
Ah, that's the thing. Gang banging is not
Well,
a
it was
lady.
there. It was under her hat.
Oh yeah, I guess, you know, yeah, but like that's the thing. Like let's
True.
that it I like it used to be abhorrent for a woman to be out of pocket like that around other women. Like they'd be clutching their purse. Yeah,
I did clutch my purse.
oh girl, we out here trying to drink mimosa.
Like, what you talking
Yes.
about?
No.
She's
So
not,
like
she's
again,
not being
like,
invited to the
everything-
brunch at all.
Not the brunch, the cookout. Listen, she's been revoked.
It would be interesting to see her sitting with a bunch of other women who are either, you know, single and feminine and, you know, out there doing their best to attract men, or women that are in relationships, you know, with men. It would be interesting to see how she mixes in that dynamic, because you're right.
I mean,
She came on, you know, constantly like, you know,
Gang.
Gunslinging.
and I don't, what you said, I don't. She's very, you know.
You make a good point. I guarantee you most of her closest friends are men
Yeah.
in the gangs.
Yeah.
That's how she made the gang banging baby daddies.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was no,
Buy
there was,
pistols and shit.
right?
Like,
There
you
was
know,
but again, but here's the thing, that's loyalty. Yo, I'm not hiding nobody's pistol. I am not the ride or die. I don't want to die.
No.
I'll ride. I'm not dying.
I
Okay,
ain't none of y'all.
I'm gonna tell the cops where the pistol is.
But I'm saying myself.
I'm not
I'm not hiding your guns. I'm not stashing your drugs. I'm not that girl, right?
No.
What he knows about me is if he brings me money, I will save it. I will figure out how to make more money with it. That's what I do, right?
Yeah,
that's what I do. But if he come in and talk about, you know, babe, hide my thing in the toilet, I'ma flush it. I'm too cute for jail. So my thing is, even with her having that type of energy, that's a level of loyalty to a man I ain't got. So how can you still not keep a man? Girl! Because if she's stashing drugs and guns and that energy is what she has, how can you still can't find a man? The problem is you, boo-boo. It's not the man.
But here's the thing.
Not the man.
Guys, the idea of like a female best friend, a female homie, like I kick it, we get and I get benefits of like sex and all of that. That's dope for dudes. But trust me, if it was that dope, niggas would marry chicks like that. No. What men want to bait, because again, Kevin Samuels keep putting the secret out there: peace and tranquility. We could, like, even the gangbanger, he be out there in the streets, pow, pow, bang, bang. He comes home, he wants the kids well-mannered.
The
He
food
wants
on the table.
Food on the table.
The
He
massage.
wants Jordy's glad to see him. Not where you been all day. He would rather put on, how'd you do today? How'd you do today?
Thank you. I
Gangbangers deserve
all of that wrong.
that energy. Was it a good day gangbanging? Like, you know, seriously. Instead of where you been at all day. You know where you been at all day.
Listen.
Out. Banging.
You know, our culture, you know, we happen to love. I grew up loving gang movies, Italian Mafia, Black Mafia in Brooklyn, all of those movies, love them all. And the one consistent thing, no matter the race of the gang, no matter where they're located, you have that woman that is so good to that gangbanger. She's never going to suffer in her life. Even when he has to run from the cops and go live in captivity,
He won't go there.
He's
He will
taking
not go
care of
there.
her. She
He
will
ain't going
never
there.
suffer a day in her life because he's
No.
going to take care of her. So it ain't about men being loyal to you, sis. It's about the fact that you don't have what it takes to keep these men, because like you said, does this girl look like the woman who's gonna put the food on the table, rub his shoulders, you know, be like, I'm here for you, honey? She could barely keep the children quiet enough to talk to Kevin Samuels on the phone. So the kids aren't well-mannered. What man, no matter who the man is, men don't want to come in their house, kids screaming down the place, ripping down the place, going on. No man wants that. None.
And like it or not, that is part of a woman's role in raising children.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I don't understand these ideas. You know, I read all of these comments under these things, and it's like, you know, people are like, you know, men want these traditional roles for women and so forth, but y'all also want to be taken care of. Let me be clear. For those who have not heard it to me before, I wanted to manifest a man where I did not pay bills. I don't pay bills. But you know what my responsibility is? Making sure this entire house is clean. Making sure the daughter that we're raising is good. Doing her homework with her. I know all about the teachers. He don't know none of her teachers. He don't know. Has no idea what's going on. Right? The food is on the table. Even managing his schedule and the things that he has to do. That is, but I don't pay bills. I don't work. $0. Because I ain't got none. Okay?
Yeah.
And I get it alone.
I think that's the
I
problem.
manifested that. So there's a part of the job that I have to do. So do not tell me I want a man to take care of me.
But see, that's the problem, Sheba. You just nailed it right there. A lot of these women, they want the life to not pay bills, and that's it. They can still do what they want. They don't want to provide for their man. They don't want to take care of the children. They just want to look pretty and do nothing. Leave the house in squalor. Let the kids run up and down, and they sit there looking like la-las, lying on the beach and looking fly. Yeah. But everything has a price. Everything. No lifestyle is for free. If you want to pay no bills and you want your man to take care of you, that's possible.
What are
Absolutely.
you bringing to the relationship? What value do you bring?
What are you bringing?
Men don't
What's wrong
suffer
with having a man?
relationships
Hey,
like
listen,
that.
y'all, I want that life. And damn well, I'm going to make sure to provide in the ways I can for my husband, the ways I can for my man. I'm not just going to sit here and have my man do all the work and he comes home to a dump.
That's the point. Like, men and women are wired differently. Like, a woman will go to work for 12 hours and come home and start picking up clothes and washing dishes and cleaning up and cooking and doing all of that. And have a man in the house and be okay with that. Love that man and be like, oh, look here. If a man work all day and come home and he got to start cleaning up and doing dishes and putting the kids to bed, and it's a woman there, she gonna go. I guarantee you she will not survive long like that. She just gonna be pretty.
That's it.
And that man is gonna be furious coming home to that fucking house. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be furious. Furious. Like, you're here all day and I still gotta come home and do mommy stuff? No. If I gotta do that, I'm gonna do that alone.
That's what I'm saying. You just shelled out $400 for the cell phone. You just paid for the groceries $200.
That's what I'm saying.
You just shelled out $1,000 in one day. And then you come home and it's like, here's all the dirty clothes on the ground now.
No food, no hi honey, how are you? The kids are running up and down, they're dirty as well. It's like, wait a minute, so why am I paying for your lifestyle? And what am I getting in return? My kids look like hell. This place looks like dog crap. What have you been doing?
You know what you guys said, everything comes with a price.
Everything comes with a price.
Everything.
I should be back if you go to, that's not how you live, and so you need to smile.
That's crazy.
Right, that's crazy. But everything comes with a price. And it's funny, I remember on a show before, and it was a conversation Rob and I had, and he shared it, where I said I traded my independence for my freedom. Again, I was out there with the independence. Woo, woo, woo. I'm an independent woman because I make all this money and I'm this title and I'm director of this and regional manager of this and so forth and so on. That was not as fulfilling as people would like to think it is. It's actually not that fulfilling. And so I'm not as independent now. I'm interdependent. We have an interdependent relationship, but that actually is working for me. I'm in a position where I'm allowed to pursue passions.
That's
right?
it.
This show, my writing, the show we're doing, I'm starting something with our daughter. The things that I'm investing time in are time that I can see the fruits of my labor. I'm not investing time to create wealth for someone else.
Right.
That's it.
no point in that. I don't.
He doesn't. He's just like I was saying the other day. Maybe I should get a job. He was like, so you can put in 40 hours for somebody else. You want to put in 40 hours? Put 40 hours into the things that you want to do. That was the whole point.
Monetize your. That doesn't mean you don't work. That doesn't mean that you're not still trying to. Look, this is content is valuable.
Thank you.
Content
So I do work. People just thinking, I don't have a formal job.
She didn't drop ambition. She didn't
That
drop
part.
goals. She didn't drop like I just want
I don't
to
sit around all
walk
day and do
in your
nothing.
shadow and be who like that. That's I don't think any woman would sign up for wanting to do that. But what I'm like, okay, again, the needs are covered. I indulge the wants that I can and want to, and that frees up all of her time to maintain the house, to invest into the children, to invest in entrepreneurial shit.
Right. Exactly.
That works for us.
Exactly.
So you gotta do something else.
That's it.
And
But
the
you
problem is that, again, as I always say, everyone's like, I can have it all or I want it all. And I'm like, that is not possible. You have to choose a path, my friend. You can either be Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. You can either hop on the balloon with Dorothy, with the Wizard of Oz and fly off, or you can click your slippers 3 times and go home. But you can't have both. There is no, even Disney has taught us that you can't have everything. You have to choose one or the other.
I was just about to make a comment about that. Here's the thing. Everybody wants to be Meghan Markle until they have to be Meghan Markle. Let's be very clear. She had a whole life before becoming that man's wife. You know what she did with that life? She gave it up.
Bye.
She gave it up. She had a whole career. Dude,
Fired her
everybody
out.
knows her. She had a whole career. She had a whole bunch of stuff she did.
Bye.
She gave up the
But
ghost.
being that man's wife and the role she needed to play as that man's partner meant she waved goodbye to that life and settled into the life. She still hasn't gone back to work even after leaving the palace.
No.
Have you seen Meghan Markle on anything recently? No. What are they doing? Producing stuff for them. She's creating deals for the family.
That's it.
Right? What works for the family? It's not about what works for her anymore. So unfortunately for some women, they think I have to give up too much of myself for this relationship. I didn't give up anything. I gained.
Well, you're not giving up for someone that's not giving you nothing. Like it's like
Repeat it.
what grandma used to say, why would he buy the cow if he get the milk for free? Too many women live like that. Like that's fact. As a single man, I know that for a fact. Have taken advantage of that for a fact. Knowing good and well, I'm not considering this woman for no type of long-term anything at all. I'm be honest about it. If you ask me, or straight up,
That part.
this is for the moment. And in my head, it would almost be like a timer of this relationship will last until she starts to pressure me about where are we going, where are we taking, what are we doing? And then that's when it's like I gotta complain, like we ain't nothing. So if that means that you need to do something different, then let me know. But again, men control relationships. I was never a guy you could bully into no relationship. You can't ain't no, oh, you've been sitting on the pot long enough, either crap or get off. I'm not even sitting on it long enough for you to ask me that. You know what I'm saying? But that's a woman issue. Like if you let a man move in your house, you let a man lay up with you, you have a man kids, you do all of this stuff that a wife does, and you gang banging girlfriend. Why does he have to do more for you? You've done everything for him.
And stashed his drugs and guns.
So you've withheld nothing.
And with that, we are going to wrap the show up. We've got about a minute, and we'll go around quickly, and everybody will give their last thought.
Okay, so my last thought is this. Therapy is very affordable now. You do not need a drug plan to book an hour or 2 hours with any sort of therapist. It doesn't have to be your traditional talk therapist. It could be a coach like me. It could be a full-on like psychotherapist. It could be whatever. But therapy sisters, if you're broken and if you keep on attracting the same man you don't want, it's time to look inward. It's you. It's you. It's not the outside world. It has nothing to do with them. It's all about you. Fix yourself.
Girl.
That's it.
Yeah, my takeaway is, respect yourself. Come on, man. Like, respect yourself and respect the decisions that people make. I'm going to say this very clear. Nothing is wrong with a person who decides to not have children until they decide that they want to, no matter how old they are. If this man wants to be 50 and still not have children, I tip my hat to you. I respect you. You are doing what's right for you. Women, we need to stop using our womb as a way to chase that money. It's becoming really, really disgusting, and it's becoming ridiculous. All we're doing is putting out these poor innocent children that are now wondering why. Why does my mom not like me? Where's my dad? Stop it. Stop it. It needs to stop. Like Karsia said, get your therapy, face yourself, put your panties on, your big girl panties, and get real. It's time to grow up. Period.
You want loyalty? Be a man's peace. There's nothing peaceful about that woman. She didn't come in with one bit of peaceful energy. And the reality is, it was harsh what Rob said about the animal kingdom, but that's the reality. Stop having higher expectations of the men you bring into your life after having another man's seed than you had of your own self. That's my last.
It just sounds great coming from y'all. I think I really would love it if women would start checking women. And like, let's as a community, like, let's just call out the bullshit a little bit. Like, not that you all up in people's business or nothing like that, but I think we all know the type of situation that we're speaking about, where it's like, again, you can go and post something outrageous on social media and have people co-signing it, and that's cancel the loop, I guess.
That part. And before we go, our girl Tella got something to say.
I do. I want to thank everyone so much for watching us here live on our IG. Huge thank you to Radio Regions and iHeartRadio. Don't forget to sign up. Don't forget to find us on Facebook. Join our private Facebook group. Follow us right here on IG. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We're going to dance it out. Don't forget to hit us up in our DMs. If you have an idea for our show, we'd love to hear about it. Request to go live. If you have a beef and you don't really like what we're saying, that's fine. We're all big people here. We can take it. Come on live with us. We'd love to hear your opinion and get to know one another. It's all good. We're nice people. We want to chat with y'all. So come on, request to go live, and we will happily talk with you. But as for right now, we're going to dance it out. Because it's Saturday, and the sun is out, and the heat is here. The four of us, we are the heat. What are you talking about? Come on, DJ Quick is just getting her groove right now. Go ahead.